Okay, see you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian, right out of Oklahoma City. We got on a Monday night, who's usually not with us on Mondays anymore, but is back tonight. We got Ava
Not because I
joining us.
don't want to be.
I know, something always happens. Something always happens. And then we got JC, and she is joining us with the band A Light Divided. How are you?
I'm great. How are y'all doing?
We are fantastic. Where's the band from? Is it from one of the, like, South Carolina, maybe?
We are from North Carolina.
Okay.
And then our bass player actually comes back and forth from Tampa, Florida. So we're spreading out a little bit.
Yeah. How far is that drive from Tampa to North Carolina?
I think he said 9 hours unless you hit traffic, and then it's like 11, 12, 13.
So do you guys do a lot of band practice with your bass player there?
Pretty much we'll fly him in before we do a tour or a show or something like that and get a couple really good rehearsals in with him. And then he'll just practice on his own time at home. And it works out pretty well. So no complaints yet. Fingers crossed.
I guess.
How long have you guys been together?
The band has been together for way longer than I care to admit. I feel like we finally figured out what we were doing as a band in like 2015-ish, something like that. That's when we started like hitting the road, really doing all the things, finding, the right people and all of that.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your band, how you started, any member changes in the whole time you guys have been playing together, those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think I was in a band prior to this one with my guitar player at the time. I was in North Carolina. I was looking for a band, but at the time, female fronted bands weren't really, popping. So every time I tried to join a band, they were like, "Oh, but you're a girl," and I'm like, "So." So I found James Lewis, our original guitar player, and he was the first one to kind of like give me a shot in a different band. And then once we started playing together, we kind of wanted to do something completely different than the band he was previously in. So we broke off and started A Light Divided. And then, when you start a new band, you get to the point where you have to feel a bunch of people out and find the right fit as far as members go. So here we are, 2021, locked and loaded.
Isn't that so lame? Like being a girl in the music world, like I don't know how many comments we have on YouTube. It's like, oh, I wish a guy sang this. It's like,
what?
Why I gotta do that? Yeah.
I know, it's really so stupid. I'm like, who cares? Like, if it's a good vocalist, it's a good vocalist. Like,
yeah.
Luckily,
sure.
there are so many strong women out there right now just killing it that I'm like, yes, future is female.
When I hear a song play that I like the music, I like to, and I'm not a singer at all, but I like to put myself in that spot of a vocalist. Like, was in my car driving, and I've never really had a problem, even if it was a female vocalist. I never really had my problem putting myself in their shoe also and just singing along as if I was a singer of the band. But I wonder if that's maybe a big reason why. But I can't imagine, even, because when I was in high school, when we were looking for singers in our band, there was a couple females I wanted to try to have as singers. I always felt like it was kind of more unique, especially it's not as unique anymore. It still is, but back in like the earlier 2000s, I guess it was probably less common.
Like everything was like, oh my God, you're Paramore. Oh my God, you're Evanescence. It's like,
right.
That's your band, right? there's room for more than just that. Like, I love Hayley Williams and I love Amy Lee, but like, I don't feel like I sound like or make music like either of the two women. And like, they're great, but they already exist.
Right. That's how I feel. I get compared to Evanescence all the time.
Well, that's so cool. I guess it's like saying the singer from Korn's getting compared to like some band that sounds nothing like Korn. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because they're both dudes. That doesn't make much sense.
Like, where is that? And it's like, we can sing about more than just breakups with boys. Tell me that all genders don't relate to that.
Right. Your voice is kind of cutting out. Go ahead. We can hear you now. What'd you say?
I was just saying, what part? Crap. I have ADD.
The part about singing more about than like breakups with dudes. I think that's what you said. Your voice kind of cut out. Is that what you were saying?
Oh yeah, like a lot of people think that like women in music only want to sing about their boyfriends and breakups and stuff. Well, we can sing about mental health, and I feel like all genders can relate to that. Or the struggles of just like finding your way through life, and just things that everybody deals with. It doesn't have to be like so gender specific just because a woman is singing it.
Yeah, I feel like that is probably I think people probably assume that's what a lot of women sing about. That's not really fair, especially if you're in a rock band. There's all kinds of things to talk about. It's more of a pop, maybe more of a pop music thing, and even then it's not. Let's talk about your last song you came out with. The music video, was that Radio Silence?
Yep, Radio Silence.
Okay, and when did that song come out? Was it last year?
Yeah, we put that out late September of last year, and that song is kind of about navigating your way, for me personally, like just through the music industry, just feeling like you're trying to go out there and make a name for yourself, and just sometimes feeling lost or ignored, and I feel like you can apply that in any sort of situation, whether it's you're at a job and you feel like you really deserve a promotion and you're constantly overlooked. There's so many situations where you can just feel lost and your voice isn't being heard. Like I said, from my personal experience, it's about being in a band, but I feel like I tried to write it in a way where it wasn't so on the nose, so that people could apply it to any situation that they were going through, just trying to cut through that static.
I love that.
That takes talent to be able to say something and write lyrics about it. Like, does it take you a long time when you're coming up with a song? If you're writing a song and you know what you want to say, does it take you a long time to figure out how to say it in a way that's not so in your face and relatable?
It's definitely a challenge. Luckily, I got to work with some really great producers on that song. Zach Williams, in particular, helped with the top line and some lyrics, and he is a fucking monster at like helping navigate what you want to say in the way that it needs to be said so that it could, apply to the broadest amount of people. Just kind of getting me out of my own head. He's genius. Love him.
That's so creative, man. I wish I was creative like that. It's so many different levels, I think I was more creative. Were you guys able to go on tour with Radio Silence when it came out, or are you still waiting to do that?
It was sort of obviously was during the pandemic, when very little venues were open, and it didn't seem like the most responsible thing to do to try and do a tour. However, we were seeing so many venues go under because it was just hard to stay open in like those unprecedented times. So we did a show at our home venue in Greensboro, the Blind Tiger, and also one in Spartanburg, Ground Zero, just to try to help, make them some money so they could stay in business. And we went out prior to kind of see how they were doing things. We marketed it as like a socially distant evening with the light divided, so everybody had their tables and masks and everything. So we tried to approach it as responsibly as we could. But then everybody, I guess, thought that because we had such a heavy touring season in 2019, I guess they thought we would do more. Everyone was like, we need to book you here. I'm like, well, this was just sort of like a special event for the shows, just to kind of be able to reconnect with the fans after not being able to play because of the pandemic, and then do a show the next night being like, man, I don't know when we're going to be able to play again. So it was really kind of cool to the first night be like, fuck, we get to play again. And then the second night be like, damn, it's really taken in because we don't know when we're going to get to do this again. So it was a really cool night. Those two shows have like such a special place in my heart. And I know that sounds super cheesy, but like it was such a weird experience because like I said, the whole pandemic has just been so rough for everybody, and especially musicians. Like I know myself, after touring so much, being stuck in my room like this, just twiddling the I don't know who I am as a person anymore. So it felt really good to have just like a minute of normalcy for a weekend.
It's probably even a little bit more intimate, I would say, while you're doing some of these shows during COVID, because everyone that's there understands what's going on, and you're all there for one thing. So I'm sure that did feel pretty special. But I do want to ask you, because I saw you guys have played some bigger festivals in the past. Before this, and was it like Blue Ridge? Is that you played there before, right? Blue Ridge Rock Fest.
Yep, I think in 2018 or something like that, I believe was the year.
Okay, and you played some other ones. Out of all the festivals that you've played, like the bigger festivals, do you have one that you would say was your favorite, most memorable experience?
Yes. We played Rock Fest in Wisconsin on 2019, and we were supposed to be like the first band on like the side stage, and but it was such a rainy day, and it rained so long that they were going to cut our entire set because they just didn't have time.
No.
Yeah, and I was bummed. I literally had a moment where I was standing on the stage looking out at the fairgrounds, just like, wow, like this is a huge festival. I worked my whole life to be a part of this, just for someone to be like, yeah, you're canceled. But luckily our tour partners were the slot after us, and they split their time so that we got to play a couple of songs. And there is nothing like the energy of a festival where everybody to throw down and hear music. So to feel like you're about to be completely canceled from playing, to get all of that love from the audience right afterwards, it was just like a whiplash of emotion.
Yeah. Can you not play when it's raining?
So, we were luckily covered, but like the rain had subsided just long enough that we got to like squeak in like literally 4 songs. And I was so appreciative of it. I went so hard before, like, just because I felt like I had everything to prove at that point.
Of course. Speaking of, go ahead, Sam.
hey, Sebastian, do you want to play in the rain? We'll plug you in, and you can play in the rain.
I will.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
play in the rain.
All right, you got to play like a guitar. You can't play drums because you're not gonna get shocked. We want to watch your ass get shocked bad.
I'll play air guitar.
I want
to speaking of touring, I've heard some horror stories with other bands, with a female front woman being in a band with all men, and it not being so fun traveling with men all the time.
What?
And them being gross and like, like not showering.
I grew up with a brother and all male cousins for the majority of my life, like until I was older. So like I've just grown up used to being around boys. So doesn't faze me at all, and I'm pretty gross. Like I'm like, oh, I'll skip the shower today. It's fine. I'll just use dry shampoo and baby wipes. I got this. We're cool.
Awesome.
Like, everyone's like, oh, you're the mom of the band. I'm like, no, I'm irresponsible as fuck. So.
Well, you know what, you gotta do what you gotta do. I do want to go play Radio Silence. I want to play that music video. Let's check it out. Sam's behind the scenes, so go ahead and play it.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody out there? Can you hear me? Are you getting anything?
Nothing.
All right. There we go.
Man, it is always so weird to watch her.
There we go.
Right?
You know what? I caught myself. I know. Sorry, Sam. Sorry. My bad.
You know, I take a little break from the show, and this is what happens. He's like, I don't know if I should click the buttons. If I'm here, I'm clicking.
All right.
But then again, in your defense, right before the show, I shut down the whole thing, and I just disappeared. So
yeah. So
I'm going to disappear now.
Came on, off, then came back on. But I will tell you, JC, during that whole song, I was like kind of doing this to it, dude. Because you guys, I bet you guys put on a great concert. Huh?
I'm sorry. What was that?
I said I bet you guys put on a great concert.
Oh man, as much as I love singing, I would call myself a performer all day long. I love being on stage and being able to express myself, just how the music moves me. Like when I see people standing just completely still, statuesque on stage, I'm like, how do y'all do that? Because I probably need to. Like I can't take it for tell me they hate me. They're like, I can't get a good picture of you, and I'm like.
I mentioned it to Sebastian. I said, you want to see a great live performer, and that's JC. She doesn't stay in one spot. I just got a quick question for you. How do you contort your body like that on stage? Do you wait for the photographer to come before you contort yourself that way? Because there's been some positions of yourself. I'm like, that doesn't even look comfortable to hold that position long enough. Yeah,
so,
the back bend.
To hold and know that I'm going to bend all the way backward because it's a cool photo op.
I do want to say thanks to the people who are commenting. Dawn's in here and Sharon's in here, and we got some other people that were commenting on your video, thinking that it was super awesome. And dude, I mean, that song is fucking badass. What is your favorite thing to see as a performer, singer, songwriter in a metal band, rock band, if you will, kind of metal, rock, hard rock,
whatever you want
to call it, right? What's your favorite thing to see on stage looking down at the audience? Is it the mosh pit or is it the people moving?
From like my perspective, looking out into the audience.
Yep.
I just love when people sing along and you can tell that it means something to them. Like there's so many videos, if you look, of me freaking crying on stage because I cannot handle it. I'm an absolute woman in that regard. Like I see people sing along stuff in like where I was at the time, to see other people like sing it right back to me. It just hits me right in my feels. Really does.
That has to feel good. That has to feel good. Anybody input on that?
Yeah.
Do I?
We have a ballad, Scars of You, and like I was so nervous to put it out because I was like, I don't even think people want a song like this from us, but I have to try because I've always wanted to do a song like that. And so when we play that song live, to hear everybody singing it louder than I can hear myself in my ears is just wild. And I'm so glad that we took a risk and decided to do a song like that. It just is all the validation in the world to trust your gut and do what feels authentic too.
Yeah, for sure. For me, we are not nearly big enough.
No, I'm saying any follow up on that question. I'll say follow up on that question. And you know what? I asked what I want. I asked what I want to ask, and you guys got to deal with it.
Well, first of all, you got Ava's tired tonight. I could tell she is exhausted today. Long day at work, and then Sebastian. You got to understand, she wasn't. You have to make the answer clear. She was texting me earlier today, and I swear, if I read you these texts, you'd be like, "What is he saying?" I thought you were day drinking early.
Me?
I thought you were drinking at work
all day.
Why do you think I asked you? Do you want me to download this? And you're like, no, I can download.
I was having issues with my email, dude.
Oh, okay. You texted me.
So, like, maybe wait for after the show after this.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting. Ava, knock it off.
Leave us alone. No, I was going to ask something else, and I totally forgot. Okay, I won't ask this. I'll move on to new material. I knew you guys weren't able to play festivals, obviously, in 2020. And I'm surprised Lollapalooza went on. I saw that on Hulu Live. I've been kind of watching that.
keeping an eye on that pretty closely. Just like trying to get hype for shows to come. Like I've been seeing so many of my friends like starting to play shows again too. And I'm like, oh yes, let me get in there. I'm ready. It's so awesome to see everybody getting back doing what they love. And you can tell that everybody has like a different appreciation for it now.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
I could just like performance that everyone's just having fun. Everyone's just grateful for people to be there watching. It's I'm ready. Let's go.
Don asks, what is your favorite song to perform live?
Oh, okay. Probably we have a song called Another Bar Fight in Brooklyn. That's always been my favorite to perform. It's just really high energy.
Okay.
The crowd always goes ape shit for it. I see the dumbest shit in the audience, like people just like rowing, people pushing each other, people jumping on top of stuff. And energy, give it back. But that's probably I do tell them to do that. I'm like, let me see some stupid shit. Like, what's the dumbest thing you can think of? Let me see it. And they will, they'll do it. They will do it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead, Ava.
What made you want to get started in music in the first place?
I've been a fan of music literally as long as I can remember. I remember I did an interview before where I remember being in first grade on the first day of school, and we had to fill out like a get to know you questionnaire so you can like get acquainted with your classmates, and it said favorite TV show, and I wrote the Grammys. and they're like, that's not a TV show, and I'm like, well, I like the music award shows, and they're like, those aren't TV shows. But that was my favorite thing. I always gravitated to music, but it wasn't until I saw Gwenny in No Doubt that I was like, oh, so I can do that?
Right.
Forever.
Yeah, and your computer is kind of cutting out
Oh yeah.
just a little tiny bit, but it is still better
I'm
than
getting
the
on
phone.
this end too.
What?
I was like, you guys are cutting out a little bit too.
Oh yeah. No, it's probably just a weird bad connection all around. I do want to ask you before we get off here. Don ask, so who are you looking for to perform live since venues are opening back? That's to you, JC.
Goodness. And it's probably just because they announced a tour today, but I am so ready to see A Day to Remember again. They are my favorite band, say what you will, but I love them so much. And they're another one of like my biggest inspirations as far as bands go. So I am dying to see them again.
Let's go.
What was that?
Yeah, man.
Wait, you guys don't know that song? You two probably don't know that song.
Maybe not when it's coming out of your mouth.
Let's go. No,
Well, it actually goes da 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 da
Just
da 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 da
to defend yourself.
That's what it sounds like to me.
You know,
JC
JC knows what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just giving you shit.
Oh, there's the show. We'll see
There you
you
go.
later.
That's it. No more.
All right, we are actually going to wrap this up right now. JC, let's ask you about merchandise website. Do you have? You guys, I think you do have a website. I went on the website earlier. You got a bunch of music videos on there.
Yep. You can go to alightdivided.com. It links you to all of our socials. It links you to ticket links for all of our upcoming shows, which are coming back, and merch, videos, Spotify, all the things. A Light Divided, you'll find us. We're pretty hoish.
That is, and merchandise. Where can you find your merchandise?
She just said.
Same thing. alightdivided.com.
Oh,
To the merch
I
store.
was reading the comments. Sam was looking at the comments. I started looking at the comments. My
Hey,
bad.
I'll plug it more than once. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, see, plug it all you want to.
And then who you heading out on tour with this Wednesday?
We're playing with Alisana and Picturesque at Cat's Cradle on Wednesday, and I'm so stoked for that. It's the 10-year anniversary tour of their album, The Emptiness, which I was a super fangirl of. So I'm very excited about that. And I've been a fan of Picturesque for years, but never saw them live. So that's very exciting. We have a couple of shows coming up the rest of the month, the 3rd or the 12th through the 15th of August. one of which is in Delaware with our super good friends in Varsity and Awake at Last. So I'm really stoked to see those guys and to catch up with them and have like a little powwow reunion. So that'll be fun. And then in October, we are going out with our friends in the Almas and doing like a 2-week run of like sort of like the Midwest area, which I'm really excited about. So it's kind of like one show, dip your toes in the water for 4 shows, and then we're doing 2 weeks just to kind of get back into the swing of things, just, you know, get our sea legs back a little bit. Cause, you know, man, I don't know how the voice is going to do after not singing, you know, nightly like that. So I'm like, everybody cut singers some slack when we sound like shit on night.
Plus, you got to build your stamina back up, right? Like your energy. You're bouncing around on stage like that.
No lie, I run our set in my bedroom, just dancing to it so that I'm prepared.
You know, it'd be super fun to see you guys, your band play with Awake at Last. That band's also a super fun band. They were on the show, Ava. You were on that episode with me.
We did it with yeah, we had so much fun on tour with them at the beginning of 2020. That was the last tour that we did before the pandemic, and they're super professional. They put on a great show every night. They get the fans so hype, and I could not ask for, you know, a greater bunch of dudes to like have the last tour memories with. Those guys are great. And
that's so awesome.
Like literally, me and my bandmates were in the audience singing up front with the fans every night. Like we're genuine fans of the band, so we're really happy they asked us to come out with them for a couple of days. And we're definitely to do this show on the 13th.
Sharon said, "Lick a friend, buy some merch." Sharon, and you said earlier, Sam's at a bar now. I don't know what I haven't been drinking. I'm nice.
She also said that I'm stoned.
Yeah, she said that you're stoned. Yeah, and she said something about voice titties. Oh, tats titties together. Well, so
that's Sharon for you.
Yeah. And then
we have a Sharon, you know.
Yeah, we have a Sharon.
Better than a Karen.
Open your wallet and legs. I love that.
So Sharon, we know you've been smoking something right now. Or drop some acid, one of the two. Don't forget, guys, you can catch us on the road, all 3 of us, over at Rockin' Pod this weekend. So get your tickets. There's not very many left. So if you want to come see us, I don't know how much tickets are. They're not very much, but they have tons of performances from tons of classic rock bands to famous musicians. So come see us. Come harass us.
Nashville.
You sure it ain't Memphis?
I know I say Memphis usually, but it's in Nashville. This is the first time the podcast is going on the road, and it'll be all 3 of us, all the little hosts and producers of the show, which should be super fun. And
for the first time ever.
Yeah.
First time ever, we're all going to be together.
Yeah. So Ava gets to hold his hair back when he pukes at the end of the
night. Yeah, the lack of hair.
That's what I'm saying. And don't forget, guys, we really need you to buy some merchandise. If you really like the show, it goes a long way. All of our merchandise, all of our content is free. It's available everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Apple Podcast,
all Spotify, those kind of
iHeartRadio, Deezer.
Yeah,
these nuts. Just kidding.
All those things. So, but that shirt shows your support, and it also does help pay for, you know, StreamYard and whatever we're doing, and Sebastian's alcoholism classes that are not going. I was gonna say cocaine habit or something, but I was like, you know, your work might be watching, and then we like, wait, should we test him? So, thank you, JC, for coming on, and guys, go catch.
This has been a lot of fun.
Go catch A Light Divided out on the road. They are wonderful, and you will be heavily entertained. Even if you might not know their music, go listen to it first. It's right there on YouTube. And don't forget to check out this young lady's band, Weird Wolves, in Austin, Texas. I think you don't have anything lined up right now, but I know you just booked one because, so they will. I can tell you they're doing.
We are absolutely like planning to come back to Texas soon.
Yeah,
awesome.
So October 3rd, over at the Far Out Lounge and Stage with Animals.
Also, August 27th at least.
August 20th. Okay. There was. See, I was asking you if you had another show because I didn't
I
see
know,
one.
but then
so-
you kept talking.
I know.
That's what he does. I do.
All right, let's get the hell out of here so we don't.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have us back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. Our pin post has a pin show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.
Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to click the like and share button.
Don't forget to go to our YouTube and subscribe.
If you want to listen to our audio and pick up some cool merch, go to www.theloudspot.net. Peace out, rock on, much love.